Does your child have a fear of animals or insects? Some kids have normal fears and some kids have fears that are out of control. We'll talk about what that is and how to help those kids. Stay tuned. That's what's up next. Okay, so all kids have some sort of fears, and that is completely normal. Lots of kids are afraid of animals, and lots of kids are afraid of bugs. But it becomes a phobia when your child won't do the things they normally would do because of their fears. And if you have a child like this, you get it, because your child might be avoiding play dates because their friend has a dog at their house, or they might not be going swimming at the pool because there are bees in the area. That's when it gets a little out of control. So let's talk about how do you help those kind of kids. There are 4 things I like to do when it comes to animal fears and bug fears. And the first one is I like to be frank with kids and arm them with facts. So if they're afraid of a dog or a cat, I talk to them about cat and dog language because they have a language. And so teach your kids to read animal cues, and they're going to feel more empowered that when they're near a dog, they can understand what the dog is trying to say. So teach kids that a dog wags its tail when it's playing, and its tail is down low when it's angry. Teach them that a dog pants when it's happy, and it shows its teeth when it's angry. Teach them that when they approach an animal, they should put their hand out so the animal can smell them. Talk to kids and let them know this is kind of like an animal handshake. Animals want to smell you, and they're not trying to bite you, and that's how they say hello. I tell kids that having an animal smell you is like trying to put in a password to a computer. Your animal is going to either approve of you or disapprove of you. And so you put your hand out and you let the animal smell you, and if they approve of what they smell, they're going to let you pet them. And if they disapprove, they're either going to walk away or they're going to just move away. And you want to teach kids to read those animal cues. So if you're at my house and you put your hand in front of my cat, she's always going to disapprove of you because she's a very disapproving cat, and you shouldn't touch her because she's not very warm and fuzzy. But you want your kids to be able to read animals because some aren't very friendly, and you don't want them to be avoidant of all animals just because you got some animals that are like my cat. For bugs, it's helpful to educate them as well because most bugs aren't poisonous, and most bugs don't bite. So highlight that for your child. Highlight the bugs that don't bite and highlight the bugs that are just gross, but they can't hurt you. Educating them on what they see around the house can help. Try to minimize or downplay the things that are scary, because if they have anxiety, they really don't need to know those graphic facts right now. Another thing that can help, that is going to be totally bizarre, and you're going to be like, whatever, Natasha, but trust me, this actually does help, is have your child watch movies that promote or humanize animals or bugs. There are a lot of them out there. So I don't know if you have ever watched the buddy movies. There's like Space Buddies, there's like a zillion buddy movies. I'll leave links below if you don't know what I'm talking about. Those are great dog movies because they humanize the dogs and they make dogs less scary, partly because they can talk. But have your child watch movies where the animals can talk and are funny, and that helps minimize the scariness of the animal or bug. Did you ever see that movie Ants? It was a really long time ago, A-N-T-Z. Or do you remember the Bee movie? Or am I just like way too old? These are good movies because they humanize and personalize animals and bugs. So have your child watch those, and it will help because you can help link that to what they see around you. That's just a bee and he's looking for his house, and he's just zooming around saying, minding his own business, saying, where's my house? I'm just trying to find my friends. You can personify them and humanize them, and that helps too. A lot of times I will talk for bugs if I see a bug in my backyard, because I got a few kids that are afraid of bugs at home. And actually I've got one kid that's afraid of dogs, so I've got my bases covered with all sorts of phobias. I will personify what I see. I'll be like, hey, I'm just looking for my home. Why are you scared of me? I'll talk for them. Yeah, it's kind of a weird time at my house. But you can do that too, and that helps the child realize what's going on from the bug or animal's perspective. Lastly, I'm going to talk about exposure therapy because I am a die-hard exposure therapist. And if you don't know what exposure therapy is, you should watch my video on ERP, exposure response prevention. But in this situation, we're not really doing the prevention, we're just doing the exposure. So I'll leave a link below if you don't even know what I'm talking about, because you probably don't. But the best way to beat a phobia is to slowly desensitize your child by exposing them to their fear in small incremental steps. What is that? I'll tell you. Start off slow. So if your child can only handle maybe watching a B movie and not seeing any type of B, then start off with a movie and then move from there. You want to develop a fear hierarchy. That's what I call it because that's what exposure therapists call it. And you want to climb the fear hierarchy. So maybe if we're talking about dogs, it would be watching one of those Space Buddy movies. And then maybe, this is gonna sound totally weird, but get a fake dog. Do you remember those for real dogs? Like you pet them and they like bark and wag their tail. Some kids need to start with that. So get a fake dog and then you move up from there. Then find a super kind friend, if you have one, who has a really sweet dog. Not a scary, I'm gonna show you my teeth kind of dog, but we want a sweet little dog that's perfect for exposure therapy. And then you want to have a play date between your child and that dog. So ask your friend if you can use them to help your child overcome their fears. Go to their house and have the dog on a collar. And then just have your child in the room with the dog on a leash. And then you're just exposing your child to being in the same house with a small, friendly dog. Although some small dogs tend to be even more aggressive. Find a nice small dog. The bigger dogs sometimes tend to have a better disposition, but I don't know because I don't have dogs. I have a mean cat. So find a good friend. If you don't have a good friend, then you're gonna have to just wing it. And you might have to go to a dog park or do some other type of exposure. You know where's a really good place to do an exposure if you don't know anyone with dogs? A pet store. Go to a pet store. They'll actually let you go into a private room and play with a dog. In fact, I had a kid in my therapy practice tell me the other day that at the mall, she can pay $5 for cuddle time with a dog. I'm not even joking. So that's pretty cool. So you want to slowly expose your child to the dog. And then you want to expose their time and contact as they get more comfortable. Don't forget to offer reinforcers because if you're terrified of something, it kind of helps if you're earning a prize. We're all like that. And if somebody told me to climb a high dive, I would probably need a prize to go all the way up. So help your child with these challenges by offering reinforcers. And then when your child gets comfortable, take that dog off the leash and have them make contact. You can do this with any fear or phobia. I'm just using dogs as an example so you get the idea. So lots of kids are going to have periods in their life where they're afraid of animals or they're afraid of bugs. That's just the way life goes. But now I hope you know how to tackle it. So to summarize, I want you to teach your kids basic facts about the animal or bug they're afraid of. If you want to go crazy, go watch one of those weird movies that have an animal or bug that talks. That actually does help. And then you want to climb that little fear hierarchy and expose your child in slow increments to their fear. That always is a super effective way to crush phobias. I hope you're enjoying my videos. If you are, don't forget to hit like. That kind of makes me feel a lot better. And don't forget to subscribe because these videos are going to be coming out every Thursday and I would hate for you to miss some. Until next time, I hope you find the sparkle in everything you do. Take care.